Hello friends, so once again welcome to bisptrainings.com. My name is Amit and we are continuing to building our HR model. Today we'll see the need of confirmed dimension and the solution of it. So you may find thousands of videos, documentation available which talk about confirmed dimension, but real-time challenges are different and how to solve them. So let's go to the formal definition of confirmed dimension. What kind of problems you get when you design a confirmed dimension based data model, dimension model, and how do you solve it. Let's see this live. So if you go to the formal definition of confirmed dimension, uh, in today's video we are going to talk about how to identify confirmed dimension and how to merge multiple dimension model data mart using confirmed dimension. Okay, so as per the formal definition of confirmed dimension, data warehousing confirmed dimension is a dimension which has same meaning and contain when being referred from multiple different fact tables. So my definition of confirmed dimension is simple: a dimension which shared across multiple fact tables. This is a confirmed dimension because it is being shared between multiple fact tables, right? And confirmed dimension like a placeholder which help you to plug in multiple data marts. Let's see this. So in our previous session I shown you how to build a basic data model. So we build this data model: plan, employee, actual, expense. This dimension model we build. And if you once again we go through this model quickly, we have a fact table called employee expense fact, and then we have a couple of dimension: employee position, account related details, organization details, time dimension, other dimension, right? This model is perfect and we tested this in last session as well. So this give me all information pertaining to employee actual expenses, right? There's another part of the dimension model we have which talk about employee plan expenses. That was actual expenses, this is plan expenses. So every organization forecast and plan the expenses maybe for a given current year or current year plus 2 year or 3 year, something like this. So this data model is talking about plan expenses for employees with respect to different department, with respect to different year and different account structure. So the previous one was actual expenses and this one is planned expenses. Now what is my business requirement? My business would like to see the actual versus plan and the variance. In simple word, we would like to see this actual expense which I get from my first dimension model, employee dimension model first, which talk about employee actual expenses. My second dimension model which talk about planned expenses, which I get from another model. With dimension model second, which talk about employee actual expenses, employee plan expenses. Right, this is perfect. But my business need this information. The business needs, this is my business requirement. We need to find out actual versus planned expense. And this is also called variance analysis. My business like to find out the variance analysis, actual versus plan. So none of this model can get this information for me. In this example we need to merge these two data model, right? And here we are going to use a confirmed dimension. Now let's see how to do this live. So I'll take you back to my HR model, the one which we built. This is the first HR model we built. Let's look at the graphical view of it. This is perfect. I have a fact table, employee expenses with respect to different account, different time period, different employee position. Okay, we can do a quick test. Employee total expense for a specific organization. I can look at the organization name lookup table. So the business would like to know employee expenses for each department, right? Employee expenses for each department. So I selected employee department or organization and the total expense. Right click and test it. This is my actual expenses. employee actual expenses. I test it. This is perfect. For each department or organization, I could see the total expenses. So marketing, the total expense for marketing department, total expense for customer service. We can further confine this and say for a specific year. So I could add year dimension as well. For current year, total employee expenses for different department. Click and test it. So far this information is also correct. Right? For different year, different organization, expenses on employees, employee total expenses. This is perfect. Let's talk about my actual expense. This is my plan expenses. So this is my forecast or plan expenses. We can test the same thing. Employee plan expense for a specific organization wise plan expenses, and click and test it. This seems to be good. So this is good. This is my plan expense, actual expense and plan expense. Perfect. Now, but my business requirement is, business like to see the actual versus plan expense. They also like to identify the variance. How much money company planned and how much money expense is done. Maybe we will take a simple example. We would like to find out the total HR miscellaneous expenses or administration expense. Actual total HR admin expense, actual expense, let's imagine actual expense is $1,000 and plan expense is $1,200. Perfect. So it means company saved $200. The variance would be plus 200, isn't it? This is what exactly business like to see. In order to find the answer of this question, first we need to join these two model and we test it, right? So there are multiple dimension or confirmed dimension in this case. The dimension which are common between both factable are considered confirmed dimension. First we build the model, then we test it and look at the problem, real world problem with confirmed dimension and how to solve it. Right? The easy way of building it, right click, I'm going to create a new namespace and I call this employee EMP actual versus plan expense. Right? Now I'm going to build the model, so I import my metadata. We continue to use our HR model, and first I select my fact tables. My first fact is called employee expense, employee HR expense, and employee plan expense. To make it simple to understand, I keep only two confirmed dimension. Right? There may be multiple confirmed dimension in this. Okay. The first confirmed dimension I take on organization key. See, so organization, dim organization, and we also take a lookup table. And I see one confirmed dimension organization key is there's an organization key in both the fact table, right? And I take an account key as well. Account, dim account. Do we have dim account here? Should be here. It's a finance. Yes. Dim account and lookup table for dim account. Finance account dim, dimension and finance account name lookup. Perfect. I also take a time dimension. There's one more problem we have. My actual are captured on daily basis, whereas plan is captured on monthly basis. The level of granularity is different. There's another problem. We're going to solve this. I'll show you how to solve it. First we focus on one problem at a time. Okay. Right. So I select 1, 2 dimension, 1, 2, 3 dimension, and 2 fact table. Okay. Although there are many other couple of more confirmed dimensions, but I want to make it simple. Import. I am going to import them based on primary and foreign key and based upon common columns, right? Import it. Now you see the problem over here. When I use confirm dimension, Cognos make it as a full outer join, right? And this is what we're going to solve it today. This is our model. The best way to look the model in a graphical way. Look at the diagram. Okay. I'll convert this model to star schema. Okay. And zoom in, zoom out to make it simple. Okay. So my confirm dimension, let's organize in a way that I'll keep two factables, one beside other, actual expenses and plan expense, and keep my confirm dimension like this. Okay. Let me make it small so that we can accommodate all dimension. So you cannot have two factable cannot join together, so you remove this join. Perfect. I also have a account key. Account key is also confirm dimension. Okay. So far what is visible to me, there are three dimensions which are common between these two factable, and therefore these three are confirmed dimension. That's a real world definition. I look at the account key, right? I join it, create relationship between dimension to fact is always one to many. Done. Right? This is your model. This is a perfect model. So if you say identify confirmed dimension, yes, in this model the confirmed dimension are organization time, because which is joining between two factable, account finance dimension which is joining between two factable, and time dimension joining between two factable. But the problem which we are going to address in next session, the level of granularity is different. Actually joining based on time dimension, and expense is joining based on month dimension. The level of granularity is different. So far model looks perfect, but this is not exactly perfect. See why. So in order to test this why it is not perfect, I'll apply this test. So we would like to see actual versus employee, actual expenses versus plan expenses, okay, across all organization or all department, right? Simple query, employee actual expenses, employee planned expenses for each organization, isn't it? I use the organization key. I select this and apply test. I would like to see total actual expense, total plan expense for each department or each organization. Okay, what I see over here, let's pay attention to actual expenses and plan expense for each organization. Okay, organization code I supposed to taking. Organization key is not a right column. The granularity is different, so I would use organization code, actual and target, actual and plan. Test it now. Perfect. Model looks perfect, right? Each organization, actual expense and plan expense. You think it's a perfect model, but that's not true. What is the real problem? See this here. If you look at the query, this is forming a full outer join, and this is the root cause of this model. And therefore, you cannot blindly design your model. You look at the underlying query as well. Don't look at the output only. So I copy this query and put it over here and try to understand the root cause of it. See, basically keeping a full outer join in data model is a heinous crime. It's a very poor data model. So I'll simplify this and show you. I paste over here. It looks so bulky. I split into small pieces to make it easy for you to understand. And we would be focusing only the actual part. This is my first query, first part of the query, second part of the query, okay. Let's beautify this to make it easy to read. beautify this. This is my first part of query. Now look at this query and this query. Cognos use with clause. In fact, all new generation BI use a with clause to simplify, to form the query dynamically. Okay, it looks little nasty. Let's see this. First query is going to bring data from my organization detail, organization dim, and employee expenses. Employee actual expense, right? Employee actual expense. So this part of the query joins, I'll put into pieces and run it. This is employee actual expenses. Perfect. So I'll write it over here, my analysis. My query 1 finds employee actual expenses. Perfect. This is correct. Second part of the query. Second part of query, what it does, this complete query alias is fs2. The second part of the query, join employee plan expense with fs2. Employee plan expense with the second part of the query. Plan expense with organization dim. Right. This is second part of the query. Plan expense. So I got employee actual expense and plan expense, two query independently. If you want, we can keep the output in an Excel, copy this output, and you can put into Excel or put into Notepad for the sake of testing. Employee actual expense, right, and employee plan expense. Perfect. Two independent model. Plan expense. I'll just add a header over here. This is actual and this is plan. This is exactly what you want to find out, and we want to find out the variance. Plan expense. Perfect. Now the problem over here, system render full outer join. This is what exactly we don't want. I've got two alias name, fs2 and fs1 of both the query, fs2 and fs1, and these both queries are forming they're joining based on full outer join, and this is absolutely wrong based on organization key. So the model which we have chosen look correct, it's not exactly correct. The problem it's causing a full outer join. Now let's see how to solve this. Okay, there are multiple ways of solving it. I'm going to show you a simple way. You can use the same technique to solve and combine multiple model. Dimension model is always divide and conquer approach, and you divide the whole big problem in small pieces and solve it step by step. If you try to solve the whole model in one go, it's pretty difficult, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to join these. This model seems correct but not correct. I'm going to join these two fact tables, keeping one confirmed dimension as organization in this case, right? So what I'm going to do, I right click and create new query subject, right? And I named it as fact actual, fact employees, actual, and target expense, right? And this will be sourcing from my database, and I need data from my HR model. Remember, I'm using confirm dimension organization dim. Confirm dimension organization dim in this case, and this is how you get to know the real meaning of confirm dimension. Why we call confirm? Because the column from this dimension is being used by multiple fact tables. Okay, so I'll pull only required data. Whatever keys you need, you can keep all the keys, whatever you need. Actually, I'm more concerned about 1 minute. Did I select the right one? Right click, create new query subject, data model, EMP, actual, and plan expenses. HR model, I'll be selecting employee actual, employee expenses. Okay, this actual expenses. I need I need, in this example, keeping only account key. I'm trying to make it simple. Employee key. Okay. And this is plan. I need only plan expense total, right? And I need to join with my confirmed dimension account. Sorry, I need an account organization. Organization in this case. Employee organization dim. Organization key, code, and lookup table. Code English, right? And Cognos will go through all the queries, the data model, all the table, and come up with a suggested join based upon primary and foreign key. Therefore, it will take a little more time. It will come up with a list of suggested join. If you find the suggested join is perfect, correct, you can carry on. If you don't find it, you can define your own join. Taking a little extra, but it takes some time. It goes through the entire query. Perfect. This is what Cognos recommendations. So you see, my organization dimension and employee expense are joining on organization key. Employee actual expense joining on organization key. Right. So my confirmed dimension in this case, if I see, I got dim org joined with fact table emp actual expense. And the same dimension joined with emp plan expense, and dimension is in between both the fact table. Dimension is in between both the fact table, and therefore it's a confirmed dimension, and that's what visible. Employee dim organization key from dim org organization key is a common key between my employee expenses and employee plan expenses, isn't it? This join talk about this, and then we have join with lookup table. This is what we can ignore now. If you are okay with the recommendation, perfect, and go ahead. I find the recommendation is correct. Now we can test it. We need to add little more manipulation. So rather than keeping two fact table, I combine them and kept a single fact table. Now you can join with as per your need. I'll join with account key. I'll join with account key. Create join. Between dimension to fact, this is my fact table. I should have added a fact keyword. Fact. Well, okay. And I need, at this point of time, I need to join with only organization code or organization key. Correct. I'll join the organization key. Create join. Dimension to fact, one-to-many cardinality. Perfect. So we'll apply same test. Employee actual expenses. This is actual expense. Employee plan expense across different organization name. I don't need a lookup table. I use the column over here itself, isn't it? You don't need it. If you still want code, you can pick it up from here. But you will definitely see that now you don't have a full auto join. Employee expense, actual expense, and plan expense, and test it. I should have applied grand total. Employee name also I use. Organization name, sorry. Grand total. Okay, I am not getting a aggregated value, but that is fine. This is employee expense, actual expense, and plan expense. We would apply a sum on top of actual expense and plan expense. We'll do it in next step. So for each department, actual and plan expense. And are we getting a full auto join somewhere? Look at this. Do we have full auto join? Looks quite nasty query. Copy this and paste it over here. You need a good amount of patience to solve such kind of problems, but that's what you gain with experience. There's no shortest way to solve such kind of problem. Okay, and these kind of issues are often solved after UAT, because technically everything looked good to us. unless we dig into this and look at the data related issues. Okay. This is the first part of a query. I beautify this query. Okay, perfect. So what I see, okay, this is my query. I see, do we have any full outer join? I don't have any full outer join. You see, the joining criteria is organization dim join with employee actual expense and organization dim join with employee plan expense, right? And this is exactly what we wanted. There is no full outer join. It's an inner join. So do not believe on the data model you prepare by drag and drop. Look at the query, try to identify and eliminate full outer join, and if it comes, create a custom defined model. This is what exactly we did. So that's it for today. Once again, we had two different models. We have actual employee actual expense, employee plan expense. I merged this model and I found a list of confirmed dimension. Though when we query, I found data looks good to me, but when we dig into this, we found the query was not good. It was forming a full outer join, and therefore I create a custom defined query subject to eliminate a full outer join. So confirmed dimension in this case is a dimension which is helping us to join two fact tables or merging multiple data marts using comma. That's for today. Do watch next 25 more videos are available for solving more advanced data modeling related issue. Also, the solution we made using IBM Cognos, we have got close to 200 more videos which talk about how to build dimension model in Oracle OBIE, Tableau, ClickView, SAP Business Object. Thanks for watching today's video. Should you like it, please tag it like.